Rising with each beat of the music is bringing. We're flames in the fire that keeps burning. We're inviting the night in.
Tactical nuke incoming!
How's it going, everybody? This is Rob Novakast back with another video. We're going to be doing more, reaction, discussion, rebuttal type videos. Trying something a little bit different, so that way it's just easier for editing and so on. When it comes to some of the reaction stuff, or at least, responding. So with this, I got a video from I Hate Dogs, Dog Delivers the Mentally Ill, a 4-minute video where it is basically giving his response of why he hates dogs. Oh goody. I can only probably guess what enlightening things he has to say. So without further delay, why don't we go ahead and get started with this. Also, new background, as you guys can see, at least I'm using the, I have the sensor image as well as the background to kind of blur out the initial video. So hopefully that keeps me from, dealing with censors.
What's up, everybody? This is going to be a video explaining why I hate dogs.
Which, more likely, it's not going to be very informative.
And why I think we should ban most dogs. So, number one, dogs are known to be aggressive and...
So, that goes for any other animal or creature on the planet, hell, even humans. So should we ban every other animal? Should we start, you realize, something like that would be physically impossible to do, especially with, how aggressive humans are towards each other as well as animals. What, should we start? Actually, no, that would be stupid. That'd be completely stupid, especially with the fact that when it comes down to the aggression in dogs, or at least, attacks, as I stated in my previous video, dog-related maulings or killings or fatalities are not as big as the dog haters try to make it out to be.
People say that it's the owner's fault, and
That depends on the situation. You realize that, right? It depends on the situation when it comes to the dog. There are times where the dogs are strays and they don't know, they haven't had the proper training to deal with humans. And other times it's, when they attack, it's more of a defense mechanism in case they're afraid. Other times it is due to bad owners who treat the animal poorly, just like any other animal would probably lash out when they had an owner or an owner that treated them poorly.
and which sometimes that's true, but other times it can be the dogs' natural behavior themselves, such as pit bulls, Rottweilers, Dobermans, Bull Terriers. Those types of dog breeds were known to be aggressive, and so...
As well as the pit bull, you should probably mention the fact that, the pit bull has been trained or domesticated as sort of a nanny dog.
I think that most dogs should be outlawed, and...
Yeah, if that's your only reason, then guess what? That's not going to work.
And, another reason why I do not like dogs is because they smell bad.
Really? They smell bad. So, should we start banning, people for smelling bad? What about other animals? Hell, if smell is the problem, with a lot of major cities, especially when it comes to trash, should we just, ban societies or at least just demolish societies for producing garbage and waste?
They stink. They leave crap all over your... They leave urine all over your carpet, and they get your house stuff smell bad, and like, if you go to the house with like 1 or 2 dogs and you go to somebody's house with a pet cat, you'll definitely notice the difference.
Okay, so this is coming from somebody who's owned both cats and dogs. I want to say it's a toss-up between the temperament as well as the animal. Because cats, if you don't change their litter, they will cause a massive amount of smell. If you don't deal with them properly, they cause a immense amount of smell, larger than what dogs would probably produce. So this idea of, oh, cats are better than dogs because of smell is ridiculous. If anything, especially when it comes to urine, cats are probably worse. And I know this. I'm saying this, or at least I'm saying this because of personal experience with the animals.
And yeah, dogs smell bad. And like, I even watched I've heard of a disgusting video of a dog that ate a toad and it had explosive diarrhea, and it was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in my life. Like,
I think I don't see. Oh my gosh!
I was so grossed out. It was, yeah. That's.
By the way, you realize that cats will probably do the same. When it comes to eating certain animals, more than likely cats will do the exact same thing. Cats, as well as dogs, are natural predators. Only when it comes down to it, between the two, dogs, by the way, have been in, I guess, in human culture longer than cats. I can't remember the exact time frame, but dogs have been domesticated much longer than cats have ever have.
That's definitely one reason why I don't like dogs. So, and the thing that I hate about dogs is that whenever I go to somebody's house, like for a visit or something, and the annoying dog gets up all over me, jumps at my face, and it's more of an inappropriate welcoming experience. So it's like, I find this very inappropriate, and I think that if people are gonna own a dog and they expect visitors to come, then they should just lock the dog in their backyard or in the cage where they won't bother any guests, because dogs don't know which one's a threat and which one's not a threat. Dogs can't even tell which one's a threat, especially
Well, that's not true. I mean, when it comes down to, again, it's all in the matter of training. I mean, why do you think police use dogs for police dogs? Because they've been given, or at least they've trained the dogs to determine what's a threat and what isn't. Same thing goes for, when it comes to a lot of dogs for an individual or a family's household. How do you think they differ from, people being, a friend or foe? And a lot of times, especially, and I say this because I've had both big and small animals. Right now, as you guys, you guys see one of the intros for the videos. You see that I have 2 small dogs at my house. When it comes to the dogs itself, they socialize with a lot of the people that I have to interact with. So in a sense, they understand who is friendly and who isn't. Heck, those dogs, they're all bark and no bite anyway, so they're not going to harm anybody. So, yeah. And the whole aggressive thing is, it's always interesting to talk about.
when there's people that are just walking in the streets minding their own business, and a stupid, annoying, dangerous dog attacks them for no reason.
There's always a reason for a dog to attack. And 90% of the time, especially if a dog is scared, they will run away. They wouldn't want any confrontation with the person unless the person or animal decides to be confrontational with that animal, by which they will become defensive. Their instincts kick in, and then they proceed to stand their ground. Usually that is the case of when they attack people, out of the blue, when it comes to a dog in the streets.
Dogs can't tell which one's a threat and which one's not a threat. And if you think that a dog is a man's best friend, then you seriously have some serious issues to deal with, because
that's one of your go-tos, the whole phrase "man's best friend." Yeah, but buddy, just so you know, that's stupid. Your argument is completely stupid.
because since you can't have a human for your man's best friend, because why can't a human be a man's best friend?
I don't know. Maybe perhaps because, for a lot of people especially who, let's say, aren't very good with social, interaction, or, feel betrayed with a lot of other, interactions. Let's take this for example, because why not humans be friends with other humans? Okay. What can you really say that to an individual, or at least a group of individuals who try to have interactions with friends or family, and every time they try to get involved with a person, that person basically slaps them in the face and has zero good experiences with dealing with other people? How do you say that to somebody? And it's funny when somebody in the dog hating community like yourself, or I want to say the dog hating cult, tell people, is like, why can't you just have friends with other people? It's like, oh, I don't know, why don't you like dogs? So are you gonna that makes no sense. You gotta understand, is like, no, like the human race is not a hive mind. We don't, or will not, think the same way as each other. So, in a sense, and by the way, then this is the kicker, everybody has different experiences when it comes to interaction with either people or animals. So, there are people who more than likely have zero good experiences when dealing with other people, when it comes to family, friends, work, etc. And the only, let's say, good thing in their lives that at this point will not treat them like shit is either their cat, their dog, their parrot, or whatever that they have in their home that they have grown to care about. So this whole shit about, it's like, why can't you have human friends? Maybe put yourself in other people's shoes instead of, being an ignorant dick. Okay?
Fine. So a man's best friend doesn't have to be a creature with 4 legs that doesn't know a difference between threats and no threats.
You keep using that, but I don't think you understand. In fact, when you talk about this, I don't think you you never researched what the exact thing that you talk about. You act like you do, but you don't. I think it's clear that you really don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
So,
by the way, and it makes sense considering, once again, the person that you listen to is Canine Aversion, who is probably the equivalent to a cult leader. I'm sorry.
Now, to be honest, there are some
Honesty. That always gets me.
dogs that I'm okay with. There are some dogs I do get along with, like, for example, Pomeranians. I do get along with them. I've seen videos of Pomeranians, and they're all pretty adorable. And but
so wait. So, but that doesn't make any sense. That does not make any sense. You claim you don't like dogs, right? You claim the reason you don't like dogs is because they are, quote unquote, aggressive and they smell. So why would you make that exception for? I know it's a nitpick, but honestly, why would you make that exception for small dogs, like a Pomeranian? I'm sure, like, a Chihuahua too, which again I have 2 of them. They're laying down right now, but it's like, if you're gonna stick to your guns, why would you make that exception? Unless, of course, you want to, prove to people that you may be a hypocrite. But who knows? I know some people would think that I'm just talking on my ass, but again, it just seems to some extent hypocritical when you claim that you don't like all dogs and then you say, "Oh, I'm okay with Pomeranians."
Yeah, I do like some dogs, but I'm not.
You don't help your case when you say shit like that.
I'm not as big as an animal lover. I'm not a big animal lover. I don't usually like animals, but there are some of them that I'm okay with. I do get along with. I'm just not a big animal lover. So,
Yeah, you like. Yeah, we can tell, and you're not a very people person too, especially when people give you your opinion, and you proceed to spew death threats towards them.
I understand that some of you like dogs, and especially pit bulls, and that's okay. I have no issue with that, but
I'm sorry. Why again do you claim you don't like dogs, but you say it's okay if other people have? This is where I'm like, you don't know what the heck. You don't. It just seems like you don't know what you're for. And going back and being wishy-washy about this whole thing right now, it just seems like you're disingenuous about what you have to say. At least that's the way I'm seeing it anyway.
One thing that you should need to know is that don't expect for me to show up at your place if you expect a visitor to come, so...
Don't worry, I wouldn't want you to come to my house. Especially how violent you've portrayed yourself to be.
Yeah, happened, so... And what's crazy is that when I've seen videos of other people posting videos of reasons why they don't like dogs, people get all crazy and stuff and be...
I'm sorry, I have to ask. Are you the pot or the kettle in this situation? Only asking. Just curious.
He's so disrespectful and stuff, and it's just, this really has got to stop. And people just say, oh, we'll just criticize him because he has a different opinion. Like, that's more of a positive way of saying that you're just harassing and offending
No.
people who have different opinions. So that's what it really means, more in a positive way, because, people just don't want to be proven guilty of online harassment just because people have different opinions and all that.
We're not harassing you, nor K9 aversion, because I know you guys want to claim it to be harassment when that's really not the case. We haven't harassed you. We will, at this point, we would be stooping to your level when it comes to harassment. We have never and will never harass you. All we've done is given our criticism and opinions about your behavior and the basic degree of denial and disingenuous videos that you guys have posted.
So anyways, that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and please be respectful, and if any of you are going to add mean comments or dislike it, I really don't care, because I'm just going to block you and report you, and you'll be banned from the internet, because you need to...
That's the go-to, the ban you from the internet. Yeah, that never happens. Usually.
That online harassment and cyberbullying is unacceptable and will not be tolerated.
Again, nobody give people disliking the video or commenting. That's not harassment. It's not. It really is not. People leaving a comment, as stupid as some people are, is not harassment, and it cannot be claimed as harassment. If you are that butthurt of somebody leaving a comment, then I'm sorry, but maybe the internet is not for you. Alright, So that was my response for this video from, I hate dogs, dog lovers, and mentally ill. Now calling himself the channel Dogs Suck. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you have anything you'd like to add, leave in the comments down below. Share, subscribe, like, all that good stuff. If you guys want to follow us on social media, links are in the description down below, as well as check out our daily content and the weekly podcast. With that being said, this is Novakast signing off. Have a good one, and take care. Peace.